Sorry for the bit of a delayed start. My apologies there. Oh my gosh, there's like a weird longer delay today, and I'm not sure about why. So, well, that's my music. And I want to do one more audio check because sometimes things stop working. A weird. Okay, that sounds good. Sometimes in between me setting up a stream and then actually going live, then things stop working. But I'm very, very excited today because finally I have been able to release a very, very special pre-order. As you can probably tell from the title of this video, you can now go and pre-order your mystery 2024 ChemKnits Chanukah yarn sampler. This is one of my favorite video series mini collections I put together all year because every night of Hanukkah I share a new yarn dyeing video, and with the Hanukkah sampler you get wrapped mini skeins from each of those videos, so you can unwrap the yarn, have a little bit of the colorway that you can see in person compared to what I'm dyeing on screen, and I feature 8 different techniques and types of colorways, so then you can play around and swatch and figure out how different colorways may knit or crochet up, and it is so much fun. Hanukkah actually starts really late this year. There was a question, is it Hanukkah already? Hanukkah starts on December 25th and it goes into like past New Year's into 2025. So technically, I believe, I haven't looked when Hanukkah 2025 is. Oops, not 26. Okay, 26 is early. It starts December 4th. But in 2025, when is... Yeah, December. Oh, it starts the day after my birthday next year. It'll be the 14th through the 22nd. So, yes, we will have 2 Hanukkahs in 2025. Yes, it's very, very late this year, which will be interesting because it spans all of winter break. So I'll be working over winter break, which is fine. I do try with the premieres to be in the live chat if I can. My husband's family does celebrate Christmas, so there may be some times I have to pop out, but we'll see. The Jewish calendar is more of a lunar calendar, but there are adjustments to it, like leap months and things, so that way holidays stay in approximately the same season, but things can range. I guess the earliest Hanukkah ever starts is like November, the end of November, and then the latest it ever goes is early January. So there's a lot of variation in there. Okay, but let me show you. Okay, so in tonight's video, I'll show you the listings. I'll talk about the bonus skeins for this year's Hanukkah. I will show you, and then I thought it would be fun to go and look at some of the packaging and colorways I did in the past in a very crude. I'll be showing you a spreadsheet that I started, not a spreadsheet, like a slide deck I started making for myself, so that way I can quickly go back and sort of see everything I did from past years. So that's something I'm working on. And oh, I should turn off my notifications, but thank you to whomever just ordered. All right, and feel free to, since I'm live, feel free to ask questions. Let's go over here to my shop. That is not the right window. I gotta find the right window. Here we go. Can I make this tiny so I can still see it a little bit? Nope, I don't want you to do something weird. I really need multiple monitors for this. Okay. I will put that on the floor. Here is my Etsy shop. And wait, do I not have like a little link button? Yay! Thank you for pre-ordering. Well, anyway, I can drop this link. This link into the chat. So the first link I popped in is the Hanukkah sampler listing. But then the other thing you can do, if you want to see all of the options that are available, is that right over here, there is a Hanukkah tab. And so you see 5 things, and we'll talk about that real quick. But I'm going to drop the link to just the Hanukkah section in my shop into the chat as well, if you want to go directly there. So this year there is the Hanukkah sampler, this right here, which I'll go through first. And then if you purchase the Hanukkah sampler, you have the option to add on some full skeins. Now there's 2 things on here, 2 stitch markers that are available to anyone. You can order it now, they're ready to ship, or you can add it to your Hanukkah sampler. It's up to you, but those are just available. Oh, different subject, but my Halloween yarn just arrived and it's so perfect. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my mystery Halloween thing in a moment, but let's focus on Hanukkah now. Okay, so it's funny because this is the same graphic I have been using, I think, since 2018, where I actually took little labels, and this wooden backdrop is a cutting board that we have when I do like I use it for all kinds of stuff. But so every night of Hanukkah, there will be a wrapped package for you to open up and get a little treat, a yarn mini skein. So each of the 8 nights of Hanukkah will have a wrapped 10-gram mini skein of either fingering weight or DK weight yarn. And then there will be a bonus 20-gram mini skein that you'll be able to open on one of the 8 nights. So on one of the nights, you will have 2 little packages that you can open up. And everything will be labeled with the date and the night number. There also will be a letter in with your sampler that'll explain where you can go to find the videos if you're watching them a little bit later and everything like that. Are there extras in the regular box? Yes. Oh yes, there are extras. So these are actually extras that were featured in past years. And I had a lot more, and so that's why I decided to list them, because they're very Hanukkah themed. But these are not the extras that are going to be in this year's sampler. Okay, so you choose between fingering or DK weights. There's 100 grams of yarn total in the sampler. And each night will have a new technique. And so lots of 8s. And I guess I don't have a little thing that says, but the samplers do come with multiple fun extras. And I'll show, I think, some of the pictures I have, which, okay. No, let's just jump quickly to last year. Okay, down here you can't really see because it's super tiny. I mean, this is really a behind the scenes thing that I use for myself. But so last year's sampler had a sticker, 4 progress keepers, and a card that was signed by me. This last year's card had a design that I commissioned. Some years the cards are things that I hand make myself, but there's always a Hanukkah card, and then multiple different extras. And some of the extras are always progress keepers, though. You can count on that. And here is just a quick look at some of the packaging from past years. I'll share more of that in a moment. Now there's the yarn bases, whether it's the fingering weight sock or the DK weight. They are both 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. And in the, about this item, there's info about yardage and things. And oh, you don't have to be Jewish to participate in this. I mean, I created the Hanukkah sampler because something like that didn't really exist. There were lots of Advents, but not something for people who celebrated Hanukkah. But I invite you to celebrate with me, and so don't feel bad. I usually make plenty for everybody. So if you would like to join in the fun and you're not Jewish, don't feel guilty. You're invited to celebrate this fun holiday with me. You love all the extras? Oh, thank you. I have so much fun planning the extras, and I was actually making some progress keepers today. Yes. Okay. So then if you get one of the samplers, then you can get a full skein add-on. And for now, because they're somewhat limited until I start shipping out the pre-orders, in order to get one of the full 100-gram skeins, you need to purchase one of the samplers, because I think that people who are getting the mystery sampler get priority for the mystery colorways. But we have fun options this year with the mystery colorways. Do I have that? I have that open twice. The first, okay, I guess we'll talk about the Superwash Merino Yak Silk option. I am so excited because there are options in fingering weight and DK weight. And if you ever wonder why sometimes instead of saying fingering, I say sock, like Patreon does not allow me to use the word fingering weight. And so that's why sometimes I just default to saying sock. And that is all I will say there. Yeah. But so there's going to be one colorway on 2 different yarn bases that are slightly different. So one of them is a base I've only dyed once. This yarn, the fingering weight yarn, and I'll make myself bigger. This yarn is 65% superwash merino, 20% silk, 15% yak. And here's the DK weight one. And the proportions are slightly different. And the color of the bases may be slightly different too, but the DK weight one is one that I have knit with multiple different times. The DK weight one is 60% superwash wait, I messed something up. That graphic is not correct. It's 20% yak. Darn it. Did I mess this up in the... I messed it up on the graphic. Okay, it's correct in the video description. If you're not seeing what I'm seeing now, this should be 20... Wait, oh, of course Indy's barking. This should be 20% yak. So the DK weight is 60% superwash merino, 20% silk, 10% yak. And the color of the DK weight superwash merino silk yak blend is a little bit darker because it has a little bit more yak than the fingering weight one. Is the silk shiny? I would say that there is a hair of a sheen to it. I wouldn't call it particularly shiny, but what I will say is they are so stinking soft. I knit with not one that I dyed, one another dyer dyed of the DK base, and it was so delightful. I had to go buy some for myself to dye because I just thought that it was so nice. The blends are so fun. Now, I'm going to be dyeing the same colorway on both of these bases. The way I do things now is if it's within one listing, it's the same technique. Of course, there could be some variation, but we're doing the same type of thing on both. And for an example, okay, wait, I need to write down fix, DK yak image, because that's embarrassing. And so this is an example of what some of the extra packaging looks like. I usually use an organza wine bag. So if you've ordered a lot of my samplers and things over the years and have these bags and don't know what they could do, you can use them for hostess gifts. And if wine isn't something you do, you can put hot sauce or a cute olive oil bottle or something in the bags. And so hopefully they are reusable in some kind of way. Aww. Bernadette just said, I find opening the Hanukkah sampler mini skeins is more fun than opening my birthday presents. I really do try to make the unboxing of this sampler to let it be an experience, to let it feel like a friend put a lot of time and effort into creating something for you that is a treat. And another reason why I created this is as a mom who works hard to make sure there are 8 things that each of my kids and my husband can open. And now Keith is great about making sure I have something to open each night, because I decided at one point and said, I want something to open each night. But this is a way that you can make sure that you have something to open each night that you don't know what it is. And so, yes. Aw, thank you. All right. Yeah, so that's the merino yak silk. The other bonus, and I always try to do something sparkly for Hanukkah, because Hanukkah is all about a miracle that involves light, right? Oil that was supposed to last 1 day lasted 8. And so I like to do something sparkly. And the yarn base, which I may not take out of the bags, but I am pleased to say that I have fingering weight and decay in the same fiber content. And so this yarn is 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% silver stellina. And I am so excited to have this as a DK weight option as well, and to do both, because normally my sparkle colorway would most frequently be fingering weight, but then I think last year like a DK weight, the one that had silk in it too, maybe. And I sometimes blanked on which year was which, but there wasn't a good comparable in fiber type fingering weight version. And so I try to make it special and fun. And I will say that I did have a lot of inspiration from, say, Paradise Fibers, when I would get so excited to just see what was in there, and it made me happy. And so I wanted to create something that would make people feel cared for and happy. And so I try to put a lot of love into it. But the one issue that I have is that there aren't that many like charms and things that are Hanukkah themed that are out there that are also that I'm also able to get in the quantities I need, and that are a reasonable price for me to get, if that makes sense. And so that's the reason why I added, and again, these are not official add-ons to the samplers. And we'll go through some past ones in a moment, but I think that this little menorah right here, I think this was featured in the 2019 Hanukkah sampler, so a long time ago. And then the little dreidel that I made out of clay, like I made these. I 3D printed a little stencil, and then I probably should have not tried to do the hole in person. You can see that this little hole down here is a little bit wonkier, but I made like a marble pattern in my clay and created these. And so I think, what year were these featured? 2022. So 2 years ago, these were part of the sampler. So there will still be progress keepers and other fun extras in this year's sampler. It's just going to be, you have the option to either, you could add one of these onto a Halloween order or to a Black Friday order, and it'll ship. These are ready to ship now. Or if you grab some of these with your Hanukkah pre-order, then I'll put them into your, I'll put them in with your Hanukkah sampler for you to open up there. So that is the plan there. But now let's go back down memory lane a little bit. I thought it would be fun to start here because I have a little jewelry stand in my office, and on there usually I keep one of every single charm that I use in everything. Oh, this is a great question. Judy asked, how many years have I done the Hanukkah sampler? A lot. So wait, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is my 7th year. And things have evolved a fair amount over the years, I would say. But yeah, these are all things. And so some of these, because I know there's some of you who I think have ordered every single mystery thing I've ever done. Some of these, not everyone necessarily got, because sometimes some of these, well, this was a Valentine's Day one. But so some of these extra charms might be, sometimes I have a few charms that go on a bonus add-on or something. And so some, and you know, like the Pokemon, there was a lot of variety that went into those. So sometimes the color of a stitch marker might vary, or there just might be a few different options. Or I think with the little Olafs that I have here, I had those for when someone ordered multiple of add-ons, then I had something else so they didn't get like two of the same like colored bobble or something. But yeah, that's a lot over the years, and I've hidden a couple that I have on there. But I have like these normally all hang, but I wanted to take pictures because sometimes it's hard to remember what I've used versus just thought about using. Oh, and of these, so like here is that menorah I showed you. I think where's the clay dreidel? Oh, it's right here, upside down. And then the only other progress keeper I think I have in my shop right now would be under everything else. Oh, I've got tape measures, magnets, some stickers, a keychain. Funny story, I ordered those by accident because I meant to get something small enough to do a little like, and so there's like a little logo progress keeper there. So, but let's go through memory lane. The menorah stitch marker is so fun. And because I did it so long ago, I would have bought more of that one, or at the time I bought it, there were two different versions, and it's double-sided. So it's a beautiful, beautiful charm, but it's now, I can't find it in bulk anymore. And the price that I found it as a standalone charm is honestly more expensive than what I've charged for the stitch marker. So, all right, but so, okay, way back. And I know that this is really small on the screen. Some of this is not, like this isn't really a real presentation, but this is just for my own reference. But in 2018, the first time I did this, I made, from each of the nights featured a different yarn base. And then I made 5-gram and 10-gram mini skeins from it. So that way people could test out different luxury yarn bases and feel them, and also see different types of colorways. And it was a lot of work, but the packaging was super, super cute. And then that year, I forgot about this, the cards were actually these paper cards I made while I was in high school. And so that's what I used for the very first one. But starting in 2019, I decided to do all one yarn base so it would be easier for things to be worked together in a project. Oh, and here you can see that little menorah progress keeper. But one of the things that I did here is that I did some full skeins that I broke down into mini skeins myself. I did some sock blanks that I broke down into mini skeins, which turned out to be the rate limiting step for how many full sets I can make. And then I forget what else I did for them, but this is some of the colorways. And I've just started sort of trying to keep track of the bonus colorways and things too. This way I can try to not accidentally recreate something I've done before. And that's one of my goals. The menorah is one of your favorite to use? Oh, I really, really like that one. All right, that was 2019. Oh, and the card, I did like a stamp, and then I think this was puffy paint or something. In 2020, oh, I love this. The little tags were little flames, which I thought was super fun. The back of that had the dates on it, and then the card was like a dreidel with the ChemKnits yarn on it. And I had, for some of the extras, a little like coin purse, and I stenciled onto it the yarn and then sewed. So one of the songs for Hanukkah and one of the things is a dreidel, which is a top that you spin. And so sew is spin, spin, spin for like the dreidel. And I don't know, I think that I asked one of my kids' Hebrew teachers about it, but I think that that also could work for spinning yarn. And so I thought that that was really cute and fun to have together. And I don't have here a picture of the yarns, because I don't think I screenshotted that yet. I was going through and trying to find some of the others. Okay, in 2021, oh, okay, I did have the card. In 2021, the card was actually a little doodle that I commissioned. I asked an artist to make some objects and things, and so they designed this image, which I used on my thumbnail. I used a colorless version on the thumbnail, and the packaging was in organza bags. And yeah, you can see some of the colorways that I did this time, and it was super fun. Oh, was this the year? 2021 was the year where I did, for the first night, I'd used one dye color, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each night I used one more color of dye. There isn't always a theme for the colorways themselves, but sometimes I play around with it. So in 2022, wait, I'm now confused. Oh, that was 2022. Maybe that was the year that things got darker and darker. 2022, I used these like iridescent bags with then different color tissue paper in them. I try to have the fingering weight and DK weight yarns have a different color, so that way I can easily, you can see some of them stacked as I'm about to do some wrapping, so that way I can easily tell them apart. But then I had fillable dreidels in there, which I thought was super fun. All right, and last year, I have some good photos of things. Last year had 10 10-gram mini skeins. This year, again, we'll have 8 10-gram mini skeins and then 1 20-gram mini skein that is a leave no dye behind from one of the videos. Now, in the past, I've offered, like, as one of the add-ons, a leave no dye behind skein. That could happen eventually, but we'll wait and see if I end up with some. And last year's packaging was paper bags with like a holographic sticker on them. And actually, I've even found like a little organza bag with little Stars of David on it. And I was excited about that, because it's hard to find little Hanukkah-y kinds of things sometimes. But yeah, these were the colorways that I created last year, just for some reference. So again, the packaging this year will be different from past years, and the colorways themselves will be different too. But then, yeah, I've just started pulling. You can see I have not done 2020 or 2022, but some of the thumbnails just to have a feel of the kinds of colorways I created for the SMSMS. I plan to also add in here like the Black Friday and Valentine's Day colorways, because that way I can mix it up a little bit, because when you do a bunch of different mystery things and different yarn bases, it can all blend together a little bit. But I always have this little visual reminder. You can't always see everything this nicely splayed out because they're all like hanging on a bar. I think this bar is supposed to hold like earrings or bracelets or something. But yeah, that is some of what I have created. But anyway, I guess the other thing worth mentioning is that there's not a lot left of my Halloween mystery yarn. I think, well, everything that was with neon neps is sold out. I still would dye some of the no neps version of the colorway. So basically, this is a colorway that the main color used a yarn base that had neon fluorescent neps. That is super fun. I do have 2 skeins of a multicolored nep that is not fluorescent that I dyed this colorway on just for fun to show the difference. So it's slightly different because the neps aren't neon. And then, yeah, and then there's a couple with no neps. But I think, oh no, did it go out of, it may have gone out of stock again, so it may not even be an option. Oh no, it's back in stock. The fingering weight, not the DK, but the fingering weight Neps yarn is back in stock. And so I might buy some more and then be able to do some more of those Halloween ones. Have I ever considered a mystery roving? No, but mainly because I'm not convinced of my ability to scale up roving in a reasonable way. I love and enjoy dyeing roving. I just am much more nervous about, like, I think I would struggle doing like dozens of braids in the same colorway because it takes me more time to wash and take care of it than it takes me with yarn. So hopefully that makes sense. So I'm not completely unopposed, but yeah. I mean, maybe I should do some roving. I could conceivably do some roving for Black Friday on a limited basis, but we'll see. What else? Oh yeah, so the Halloween yarn. If I do the drop down, you can't see. The non-neon multi-neps is ready to ship. I have one skein of the no neps ready to ship, and I don't remember. I think it might be worsted weight, but I don't remember. But otherwise, I'll have to just dye. I would dye more, and it would take about a week to get that out. And so the mystery Halloween yarn comes wrapped and has a progress keeper with it. But of course, then my shop has tons of other yarn. And Indy is freaking out because he can tell I'm on a live stream. Oh, you like that I'm in? Oh yeah, I'm in my Hanukkah jammies. Wait, there's a new Hanukkah jam this year. Do I have it? I'm like, I think I need it. It has like Sufgan Yot on it. Let me find it. I mean, let me be fair. There are always new Hanukkah jammies. Wait, they have a lot of different... Oh no. Okay, so I think it's this the one I'm wearing. And I'm not an affiliate with, I have no financial stake with Hannah Anderson. I just like their pajamas. But this one I don't think I have, and that's so cute. Because I think, does this one also have, yeah, this one also has multiple different nights. Is that just kids though? But then they have them available. See, this is the new one that I'm excited about. Because it's got the menorah, presents, dreidels. I don't think we've had dreidels on one for a while. There's gelt, doves, and then the sufgan yot. These are like filled donuts. You eat a lot of foods fried in oil. And so that's just so exciting. Okay, well there's okay, that other one, maybe there aren't long johns in the grown up. But yeah, I just think that this is so cute. Although, why are the dreidels only showing Haitian? I like to see my gimmels on there. Thank you very much. But I think that that's adorable and I want it. And I like that it's called Light and Love. Although that one's cute too. Okay, I'm not going to get too distracted by pajamas. So with my first Hanukkah pajamas, we had them for the entire family. And then they stopped making that size. So as my kids grew, I couldn't put them in the same ones anymore. And so now Keith still wears those old ones. I don't think he's had a new pair of Hanukkah jammies yet, but he's probably going to need one as Ryder is almost going to outgrow the last of that kind. But so now instead of all four of us wearing the same one, we do 2 and 2 because Lucas has had in the next 2 sizes ones that match this, and I have one other set. But as much as I love them, I don't love the white background because I worry about like stains and stuff. So anyway, that's me. A candy store local to you makes candy canes for non-Christmas holidays. Aw, they made a blue and white striped one for Hanukkah. Yeah, it's, for many years I was just, so we celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas in my house. And for many years I was like, okay, I don't want to try to do things that are like Christmassy for Hanukkah and to keep it a little bit separate. But then the Christmas tree is like big, right? And so then I'm like, okay, so I just started pumping up the volume on Hanukkah decorations. And that could be a lot of fun. But I chose when we got our first tree together, I chose silver and purple for the colors for the tree because I like purple. And Indy is fine. He's with Ryder in their room. And so he just wants his dinner. And he can tell I'm streaming. But I picked silver and purple because I didn't want to do silver and blue because I didn't want someone to think that I was trying to Hanukkah-ize the tree. So, ooh, the best flavor for Hanukkah canes. Ooh, Nutella flavored, potato flavored. So, oh, it could be apple. It could be like applesauce or strawberry if you think about the filled donuts, maybe. But anyway, I'm probably going to need to head out to put my kids to bed. But I hope and thank you to everyone who has checked these out. I really, really appreciate it. I don't know if I said, so all these Hanukkah yarns, they're going to ship in mid-November because again, Hanukkah starts on Christmas Day night. The evening of Christmas Day. So not Christmas Eve, but the evening of Christmas Day. This is going to be very confusing for me. And yeah, so it's going to be a wild holiday. Latke. Yeah. So I will ship certainly before Thanksgiving, and I always try to ship the international packages that I get first. And then I work through the orders and things ship in batches. So sometimes it takes 1 to 2 weeks for me to get through wrapping and shipping everything because I do it in stages. So that way things are manageable. But it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun and it's totally worth it. And yeah, it was funny because I was trying to come up with some videos for, I needed some videos. I was trying to come up with video ideas I wanted to do for, like, one thing I do every month is I do a behind the scenes sneak peek as I'm working on an episode of Dipot Weekly for the lab partners, not for the lab partners, for the ChemKnits patrons over on Patreon. And I was like trying to write down some ideas of videos I really wanted to make. And then I'm like, no, wait, I should do that for Hanukkah. No, wait, I should do that for Hanukkah. So I have a list. I just have to narrow down and pick colors. But I have all the yarn. All the yarn from pre-orders is physically in my home with some extra to account for any oopses. So that's something that's really important to me. And I do hold back a few skeins of everything for like getting through shipping the pre-orders to make sure things make it out the door okay. And so after I ship pre-orders, then there will be a restock. But if something sells out quickly, and I would say right now the thing that's most likely to sell quickly is the Sparkle DK yarn base, then I will order more of the yarn base and then I can do a small restock of that before things are shipped. And so this isn't me trying to create like false scarcity or anything like that. It's just because I will only ever list for pre-order bases that I physically have on hand. And sometimes it's hard to predict what people will gravitate towards. But now I'm curious. No, the DK Sparkle is still in stock. Oh man. But I can't see inventory numbers from the screen. But anyway, thank you for joining me. I'm so excited to finally launch this. I really wanted to launch last week, but then my box of yarn that I thought would arrive on like Thursday. I really wanted to launch last Thursday. I thought it would arrive on Thursday. It came on Saturday at like 6 p.m. And we were out to dinner with my father-in-law. And so by the time we got home, I was like, okay, I'm not doing this on Sunday anymore. Because if it had arrived earlier, then I could have prepped. But it is what it is. And I've had a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. I'm trying to think if I have any other announcements. A fun episode of Dye Pot Weekly will come out tomorrow morning. Oh yeah, please subscribe. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss new videos. And oh my gosh. Okay. And a huge apology to the ChemKnits patrons. For some reason, Patreon sent out emails with the post that the public post I did on Patreon announcing that this was available 4 or 5 times. And I don't understand why. Like, one of those may have been because I did an edit to the post, but I don't have any idea what the rest, why they sent it out so many times. I've never had that happen before. So please accept my apology for it spamming you. I mean, all 5 of these were within the span of like 3 minutes, but it was embarrassing. So I don't know what glitched with their system. But I was going to say also that if you can follow me on Patreon for free, and so then depending on your settings, you can get an email when I do a public post. And when I do a big pre-order for something like this, and then sometimes for other shop updates, then I'll have a public post on Patreon, and so you can get notified. So I think that's the closest thing I have to like an email list, but today it went a little haywire. So again, my apologies for that. I was freaking out a little bit, I'll be honest. But also, yes, I mean, subscribing on YouTube is a good way to see things too. And I usually will post things as a, on the community tab, which I don't know if that's not something that is necessarily worth checking, but it might cross your feed. So anyway, all right, I'm going to head out, and I think, well, this is going to be something new. I might try to do my physical therapy routine tonight instead of tomorrow morning, so then I can just be tired tonight and then productive tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk with you all soon. Oh, and actually, wait, I do want to drop. The link is pinned. The link is in the video description. And the link to the pre-order is in the chat. All right, now I'll say thank you so much for watching, and good night. Bye.